Check. Okay, that's the check. Holy. Alright, I think I'm on. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to PSGL round 10. We're in F6 here at Canada, hopping in on our formation lap today. As we get going, we're going to try to pull up the stream, make sure everything's sounding good. Not going to miss a lot of action. Hopefully, the formation lap in the wet can be tricky. We missed qualifying again. I would say that's on me, but I don't know what the hell is happening. It's just the way things is. Every time I start going, I get an error message. But this time, made it in time for the starting lap. Very happy about that. Jarno couldn't make it today. Who's that in the comments? He actually crashed in qualifying and rage quit. What did we miss in qualifying? We have Lynx on pole. Lynx on pole in the AlphaTauri. We have Mika in second, filling up the front row in the Aston Martin. We have a Mercedes and Borrell behind him. We got our race winner, I believe, last week. I believe Roan won our race in Portimao last week. He'll be starting in fourth. And you can read the rest of the names as we go down. I don't need to walk it through. Only 12 races on the grid. Should be an interesting race today. In the wet, we have everyone starting on intermediates. We do indeed. 5 lights are up, 5 lights are out, and we are racing in Canada. PSGL round 10. And Burrell makes the first move. He's up in second. Besides that, it looks like our grid is holding still. The Alpines are going side to side here. Davey coming out ahead, or no, Blanchard will get ahead going into this double turn. And Davey will get ahead of his teammate Blanchard, suffering a little bit from going too wide into that skinny turn. Oh, and we still have battles here now between Wolsey and Blanchard. Blanchard will look to close him off, and I think he does. Things getting a little bit tricky in the wet first lap. Our front row is holding. The main battles are occurring towards the back, so we'll stay on with them now. Thankfully, nobody losing their car on this first lap. We do have Lynx opening up a 1 second lead on Burrell. He has the biggest gap between him other than Blanchard, who is still almost 2 seconds back from his teammate after that go that they had in the first lap. Oh, and Davey looking to make a bit of a move on Harold here. I don't think it's going to be there quite yet, but he is getting mighty close to that Haas, who is a whole second now back from Roan. So you can start to see racing in the wet starting to create those gaps where it's not as easy to just stay perfectly in line and form a little train. Takes a lot of focus, a lot of concentration to not lose your car like you saw Sherman do there on that exit. He's going to lose his spot to the other Ferrari. He'll let him go quite nicely. Oh, he will turn in and bump, and this rejoin is going to be a little bit dicey. He gets ahead of his teammate. Meanwhile, Roan, he's just the 10th back. He's going on the inside of the Aston Martin to claim P3. Who can get more traction out of the exit? It will be Mika in the Aston Martin holding P3 for now, but Roan will look to make a move going in to the wall of champions here. He's on the outside. That's going to be difficult. They're wheel to wheel. Oh, and then McLaren has to go off, take the exit road, and join behind him. There just wasn't enough room for those two cars to negotiate those turns, and we have a collision in the back with the AlphaTauri and Ferrari. Most likely was an incident that mirrored that one we were watching on board with the McLaren, and in that case, McLaren, perhaps wise enough, cautious enough to take the exit road. Doesn't look like that happened in the back, as they now drop 7 seconds from the rest of the grid. And just like that, there are only a few drivers who are within a second of the driver in front of them. Sherman in the Ferrari will be out of the race after that crash. Didn't catch it. Just caught the end, and the wet is already taking a toll. Not much to comment on at the moment, honestly. Everybody's got a good gap. Unless somebody spins off, things will hold for the moment, and the next bit of excitement that we will care to look out for is our strategy going into this race. Lots of options always at hand with a race in wet weather. We'll see when drivers decide to make their pits. And on what tires is Blanchard loses that with a snap and goes right into the wall. And he has no front wing at all. Wolsey and the Alfa Romeo will get the pass on him up to 7. And I have a feeling that may be a bit of the story of this race. Just who cannot do that? Maybe in good line for a race win. Oh, we have Davey going in on Harold on this straight. Does he have the speed advantage pulling out of that slipstream? They're about equal in speed, and they're about wheel to back wheel. And the Haas manages to close him off. I'm sure there was contact. Hopefully that was a legal move, as Tebow's, he gets past Blanchard before he enters the pits. Oh, we have Mika going back on Roan. I believe Roan was in front there for the time being after taking that from Mika just a couple laps ago. Mika will reclaim P3. As Roan does pick up 3 seconds from corner cut-in, it will be he and Kelvin are the only currently with any penalties to their name. And Roan and Mika are the closest fight on the grid at the moment. In fact, the only one with less than a second, other than Davey, who's catching up to Harold there after going at him on this straight last lap. Let's see if Roan can get any close to Mika here. Again, no DRS in the rain, but he still will have a slipstream that Mika does not quite have on Burrell, who's 2 seconds ahead of him. He does close up to about 3/10 back. He's gaining space, and that was quite a good exit. We'll stay on board with him and see if he can inch into striking distance of this Aston Martin. Davey too now, he's created a bit of an opportunity again for himself against Harold. Again, Davey did have a go at him 2 laps ago and has been catching up since. And now they are the closest battle on the grid, as Roan is slipped just a bit out of reach from Mika for the time. go. Davey, 3.5 tenths back from Harold. He is gaining on him, but it's not going to be anything close to enough for a move quite yet, although he did take those two corners a little better than him. Now he's right on his back end and he's looking to make a move going into turn one. He'll be able to take the inside about wheel to wheel. He'll be late on the brakes and squeezes Harold out, but Harold not giving up yet. He takes the inside on this subsequent turn, and now they're pulling out about wheel to wheel. They got an equal exit, and it's going to be a battle into this next double turn. Will it be clean? Yes, the Alpine grabs the inside. And he grabs P5. A great little battle there from Davey and Harold. And you can bet that it is not over yet, as these two have been on each other for the past few laps. Seem to be very equally paced. And a great move from Davey, taking P5. Davey pulled away a bit this lap. Sort of rooting for the Haas here, so that we can have at least one battle. Watch the rest of the grid. You can see Roan, he's a little less than a second back on Mika. Lynx has not been pressured by less than a second, I don't think, the whole race. From then on, it's a bunch of 2-second gap, 3-second gaps, big gaps down at the back. But at the moment, it's quite a calm race from the perspective of the commentator. I'm sure driving in the wet, you can never really be calm, or when you do, you'll be out of the race. But for us watching, it is a bit of a stalemate until our pit stops come into play. Here we go. Roan has gained a little ground on Mika. He won't be able to have much of an opportunity on this straight, but if he can keep this pace up, he will have a look at it in this next lap, I believe. Let's see how he takes the corners compared to Mika. They both take them very well, though I believe Mika did get a little more room on that exit. They're now 4 tenths space between each other. Come on. Okay. I thought he was going to have a better exit than Mika there, but the space remains, and it increases a bit. Now up to 7 tenths as Mika does this first sector quite nicely. I'm not sure what the weather forecast for the rest of the races. I'm hoping we get some spicy... we can dry up a bit here to get some DRS battles and such. Oh, I'm almost... oh, T-Bone's taking Woolsey on the straight. I can't believe I missed, like, the one overtake at the past few laps. Man, gotta get better. T-Bone does get past Woolsey in the Alfa Romeo, and I am frustrated at myself. Let's see. Woolsey, have a go back at him, would you? I'm watching this time. Ooh, Roan getting 3 tenths to Mika now. 2 tenths, 1.5 tenths. He's not going to have the room to make a move on these first 2 turns, I don't believe. He may be a bit ambitious. No, but Mika doesn't give him anything on that inside. Hugging it nice and tight. Roan loses it just a bit. Does recover, though, so he's still on the tail of Mika. That was a great hold from Roan. I'm hoping it's Roan, not Rowan. DM me if I'm saying that wrong. But a great recovery from him to hold P4. He does have 3.5 seconds behind him till P5, but what he is searching for is P3, and Woolsey goes off. I think he just lost it on the exit of a turn there. And that is our third go-off we've had in this race, 10 laps in. Sort of what you would expect when it's coming down this hard. Nice, I'm happy. Alright, we're getting a little comments in the comments. Keep talking, y'all. Give me some action. Place bets. Get in arguments. Who thinks Roan will overtake Mika before they pit? Can I interest anyone on that? Because I think he's going to get it. Blanchard having a tough go of it at the back of the grid. And again, there's just seconds between all the drivers. I'll use this opportunity to stand on my soapbox and say this is why I really, really dislike wet races. We have a yellow flag. I believe that is Calvin who went off there. Hey, people in the comments, I appreciate the compliments, but we don't need to insult this race at all in order to give me compliments. I'm expecting that there will be quite a lull for the next 5 laps-ish, and then things are going to get spicy. Y'all are going to start eating your words. This is going to turn into a thriller of a race. I'm still waiting for anybody in the comments to tell me if they think Roan is going to catch up to Mika before the pits. This is one person to give me an opinion, get some action going in here. He's held for a while at about 7/10. That's a shame about good races, though. Sometimes it just creates a little lull in the action. When everybody is racing well, nobody's making mistakes, things tend to hold, and that's exactly what is happening here. Although, again, we're going to start to get some strategy decisions coming into play in a bit. And at that point, your race pace is not the only thing that can win you positions. 4 drivers have picked up penalties now. I'm guessing they're all 3 seconds. We do have Kelvin with 6 seconds. Here we go. Roan getting it down to 6 seconds. And Mika, he takes those corners well, so now he'll hold on to that chunk of time that he cut out. Now he's just a half second behind Mika. The fastest lap set by Roan. There we go. Now we're getting some good discussion in the chat. Do chickens eat meat? I would guess yes. I would assume they're like fed some processed mixture. It's just like chicken feed. I'm guessing that there is some ground up meat in it. Roan getting mighty close to the back end of Mika on that hairpin now. Feel a move coming. Oh, Mika's swerving, trying to break this slipstream. He's gained about a tenth on Roan in this last lap, so now we are back to about 6/10. "20 laps to go in Canada." Lynx has looked perfect this whole race. I'll keep an eye on the time between Roan and Mika, but let's ride along with our race leader. See what he's doing that has earned him this undisturbed P1 for the entirety of the race. And it does look, ladies and gentlemen, I don't mean to get too excited, but it does look like the rain has perhaps stopped. Which I would be very, very excited for. Lynx goes into the pit. There we go. We're getting some action. What will the decisions be? Our race leader is the first one to go under. Will anyone follow him in? Yes, Davey will. Our new race leader is Borel. Mika and Roan move up to 2 and 3 respectively. Harold joins Davey and Lynx in the pits, and let's see what tires they are putting on. Some mediums. Medium slicks. I think that is what the popular choice will be. But we'll see if anybody opts for something a little different. Davey and Harold go in for mediums as well. Let's see how much time Lynx makes up on these slicks, or if it's going to take a little bit longer for the track to dry up for them to really pay off. Blanchard back in P10, he goes into the pits for the second time this race. He'll put on mediums. And here we go. We have T-Bose on 15-lap-old intermediates. And he's able to gain quite quickly on Lynx on the slick mediums. And maybe because the Lynx tires aren't just warmed up enough yet, or the track is just not quite there for the slicks yet. Either way, T-Bose will get more speed going on this straight. But now Lynx pulls ahead. Is T-Bose going to be able to hold this inside move? Yeah, he's just got better braking at the moment. Lynx wisely lets him go. He knows that it's not his race. And just from the eye test, it does seem like currently in lap 17, the intermediates still are the best racing tires. You see Lynx has already lost 2 seconds to T-Bose. Kelvin will go into the pits now. And will our race leaders be making that decision anytime soon? We'll find out if they're going in quite yet, or if they're taking another lap to do it. And here's something interesting. Now we get to see some difference in decisions. Calvin goes in and he takes softs. Roan will be the only one of this front three to go into the pits. What tire will he be putting on? He's got some mediums. So I'm thinking There's a chance that Burrell and Mika may be trying to stretch this intermediate stint into some softs, as Verone and Lynx and the rest of the lot that have gone on to mediums will no doubt be looking to finish the race on them. Now, as Verone does get out well ahead of Lynx, so you can see that time lost from Lynx's premature stop. Verone has taken him over on the track. And now we'll see how the mediums are running on lap 18. And if this was the sweet spot for Verone, as Mika, he's picked up 3 seconds as well as Davey. So now Burrell, our race leader, the only one up front without any penalties. And Lynx still struggling for pace here, it seems. He's still losing time on the intermediate of T-Bose. We'll see if T-Bose has the speed on Roan, who again, he just pit. Mika gaining nicely on Burrell. He's just 5/10ths back. T-Bose is gaining some ground on Roan from this slipstream. We'll see how close he can pull to him in Sector 1. See who has the better tires for these track conditions. Oh no, a yellow flag. That might have been Davey losing it in the pits? T-Bose does have the better traction. He can't quite get up to Roan on these 2 turns, but it may be coming soon. He's just 3/10ths back now. Davey has DNF'd again. I think he was going into the pits when that happened. He might have just lost the car going into the pits. T-Bose now still quite close to Roan. It does appear that these intermediates, even though they are 18 laps old, still do have the better grip at this point in time. Roan holding the spot for now. T-Bose is much closer to him than he was on the last lap on this straight. He's got a big slipstream right behind him, but he just doesn't have that speed advantage without it. Roan will be able to hold position as long as he takes these 2 corners nicely, which he does. Meanwhile, keeping an eye on Mika, who's pulled within a half second of Burrell at the top. As both of them are yet to pit, which to be honest is looking like it may pay dividends for them. I believe that is Harold who's gone off, and DRS is enabled just on this lap, and things are about to get much more intriguing as here we have Mika making use of his first DRS available. Will a pit be coming shortly now for either of these two? Are they going to keep riding these intermediates out? Nope, Burrell will head in and Mika will follow right after. Meanwhile, T-Bose has lost a bit of ground on Roan, and he's out of that DRS. You have to think that those intermediates are starting to lose their advantage, and I would expect T-Bose to be coming in for a pit. And will Roan, T-Bose does go in for a pit. Will Roan come out in front? No, he comes out quite behind the 2 race leaders, though still ahead of Lynx. Which, there's your answer, I believe, is that these 2, Burrell and Mika, did make the right decision by holding as long as you can onto those intermediates, because these medium runners did not gain any time. Lynx, who was our race leader, was the first one to pit and has paid 3 positions for it. Here goes Mika on Burrell. He does have DRS, but Burrell did get a much better exit. He's over a second ahead of Mika at the moment. Hopefully Mika will just be able to use this DRS to pull him back within reach. Take these two corners nicely. As you see, Burrell, I'm not sure if he lost it there and had to cut or what happened, but Mika will gain time. 7/10 now, and he is the driver to watch. Roan sets another fastest lap at 1:18. And he's held the time that he gained from that last DRS, and we'll parlay that into an extra couple tenths here, hopefully. He was at 17 tenths coming out of this exit. It will remain the same, so Burrell doing a very good job of keeping him at bay for the time being, as he does face his toughest challenge. And who's gone off in Sector 2? That is Woolsey in the back. No more intermediate tires on the grid. The track is drying up quite quickly. It does seem Mika getting within a half second of Burrell now. With 13 laps to go. Fastest lap set by all three of our race leaders, in case you needed any more indication that the track conditions are getting a little bit more drivable. You see Woolsey at the back of the grid will have to pit once more for a new wing, I believe. And he's got a whole lot of ground to play with coming out there. Nearly a whole minute. And now going into this hairpin, Mika just has 4 tenths to make up on Burrell. Not out of the question on this straight. Burrell does have a good exit, but there will just be such a big speed advantage. As you can see here, Mika catching up to him already. He'll be able to pull on to the inside before these double turns. Can he hold it? Yes, he can, quite easily. And not only that, but he will enjoy a DRS on this checkered flag straight in P1. Perfectly timed. Well done move by Mika. The position swap, and Burrell will look to make a move using the same straights that Mika was attempted to use. Well done by Burrell, holding close to Mika, about 6 tenths now. As we see the Ferrari on softs is getting within DRS range of Tebow's. Not quite there yet, and we have Woolsey out of the race. That brings our total down to 9. If you finish, you get points, folks. Harold sets the fastest lap. As you can see, our times are just decreasing quite quickly now. And Burrell does find himself with a bit of a gap to Mika. He won't be able to make any moves anytime soon, but he will be able to pull it a bit closer. So we'll stay on board with our Ferrari of Mika Lizzi. On the softs, how much grip does he have compared to these medium runners in front of him? He's 6 tenths back now, and is gaining quite a lot of pace. You can see 10 miles per hour advantage on this straight. It's just massive. 3 tenths now coming across the line for our 25th lap in Canada. 2 tenths back now from Tebow's. Watch for him to make a move. I was going to say on this inside, but he just didn't quite get the opportunity after that turn 1. Burrell still staying close to Mika. These two have been racing each other quite squarely for the better part of this race. Mika goes a little bit deeper on that hairpin there, swerves a bit coming out of the exit, but will still be able to enjoy a 6/10 lead on Burrell. We're going to watch Mikulitsi here. Isn't able to make it happen quite yet. Burrell will most likely be able to pull right up to the back of Mika at this first turn. Roan setting the fastest lap again. Blanchard picking up 3 more seconds. Right now, Burrell in the best position to win. He's involved in this duel for first place as we see Mikulitsi takes the Aston Martin on the straight with those soft tires. It does look like he's getting quite a benefit from that extra grip. As I was saying, Burrell involved in this battle for P1. He's got Roan 4.5 seconds behind him, and he is the only one of this front three without any penalties that will be added to his time once the race ends. So Mika will have to hope for a miracle or something for Burrell to perhaps take some damage on that wall. I think he was clean there, but you can see the potential for it. Or he just has to hope that Burrell makes the same mistakes. He does, and he gets the 3 second as well. Burrell will just hope to be... Oh no, we do have a yellow flag. Who's gone off here? I think that might have been Harold in the Haas, but I can't be sure. We do have a VSC deployed. We started with 12. We're down to 8. Here in Canada, round 10 of PSGL F6. Harold will take the opportunity to go into the pits. He'll throw on some softs and most likely shoot for a little fastest lap extra points. 8 laps left to go as our grid holds under a virtual safety car. Oh no, and right before it ends, Harold gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under that safety car. Painful penalty. And the 2 battles remain. Thibaut's about a half second behind Mikulitsi. He does pull up just to a few tenths on that long straight. And nothing going quite yet. Him and Burrell are the only 2 that have the chance to make a move anytime soon. Another lap. No changes to our grid. Thibaut's just 5 tenths back from Mikulitsi here. He's going to be able to pull up right to his back end. Not enough to make a move, and he gets the penalty for this. I didn't see where he crossed over. Meanwhile, Lynx goes into the pits to get some softs, and he will come out right behind in front, of the Ferrari and Aston Martin. 2 seconds ahead though, so smart stop from Lynx. Doesn't lose any positions, I believe, and he will be able to give it a go for the fastest lap in our final 6 circles around the circuit. Burrell, he's just 4/10ths back now from Mika pulling into this double turn. Man, a move may be on shortly for him, though he doesn't need to make it, remember. He's got a penalty-free drive going on right now as Roan, he'll go into the pits for much the same reason that Lynx did, I believe. Got a few drivers gunning for that fastest lap now. It'll be interesting to see who takes that extra point home. Here goes Thibaut. A good battle between him and the Ferrari in these past few laps. He's got the speed advantage with this DRS, but not enough to get up on the inside of the Ferrari. He'll have to hold behind. Five laps to go, 5/10ths separate Thibaut and Michalizzi, as well as our race leader from P2, Burrell, again just getting right up to the back of Mika. Seems like it happens each and every lap, and much credit to Mika for holding this position for so long and racing better in that clean air for the rest of the lap, because he knows that at the end of it, each time Burrell will get a bit of that time squeeze. This time, Burrell finds himself just 3/10ths behind Mika going into the end of Sector 1. Oh, meanwhile, that's the straight again. Thibaut's getting quite close, not close enough to make a move though. I believe he just had a fastest lap set, but apologies, was looking at the time board. Oh, Burrell seems to think of a go up the inside as Mika hangs that turn a little deeper. Not this lap. 4/10ths back now for Mika. He'll be able to pull it once again. Quite close this time, about a 10th and a half there. 4 laps left to go. The time is running out for the drivers in our Aston Martin and Mercedes to make a move if they wish to. Again, Burrell does currently, if everything holds, have the race win, as Mika will have to serve that 3-second time penalty. There we go. Lynx sets the fastest lap. Race leader, once upon a time, nabs that purple time with 3 laps to go. We'll take a mighty fine lap from many of these drivers to grab it. Once again, Burrell enters this back straight a little over half a second. He'll pull it probably to about 4/10ths, and our cycle will start over once more. I would love to find out if Burrell is even eyeing an overtake, if he's really just trying to race clean and stay within DRS to secure a win. A lot of drivers do have that bug in them that they need to win it on track, while others are fine playing it safe, taking it for a win. I can't tell which is which for Burrell. Regardless, Mika does remain in P1 with 3 seconds to his name. Another interesting thing to watch here is you see that Lynx is hovering around that 3-second margin to Rome. which is very crucial as Roan does have that 3-second penalty, which would be applied after the race. So if Lynx can stay within 3 seconds of Roan, he'll be able to nab himself a podium. Oh, we have, is that both T-Bose and Michalizzi? Oh no, the battle that's been going on for nearly 10 laps or so finally results in a collision. T-Bose will be able to recover quicker than Michalizzi, and that's how things will stand on our penultimate lap, 34. And at this point, I can almost assure you that Burrell is not too concerned with an on-track overtake at this point. To stay within 3 seconds and the race win is his. Roan picks up another 3 seconds, which, as we mentioned, is just crucial. That means he'll almost surely drop down to P4. Final lap going in here. Can Burrell stay clean? He's yet to win a race this season, but it is looking likely that he will find himself holding the trophy at the end of this lap. As long as he stays in between those white lines and plays fairly, the race win is his. A race that has really been decided on strategy. Oh, and Roan does nab that fastest lap. We'll see if anyone can match it on their last chance, but that will hold for now. Oh, here goes Burrell. He's very close to Mika with the DRS. And a bit of gamesmanship you can be seen played here, as I'm not sure. I know both those drivers at one point there were letting off the throttle a little bit. Perhaps Mika was inviting Burrell to engage in a bit of a battle with him. Burrell will take the lead on this last lap and hold it. Comes across the line, P1 with 3 seconds to spare. Congratulations to Burrell in the Mercedes, picking up his first race win of the season in PSGL. Well, Michalizzi does manage to get back the spot on T-Bose in this last lap, but T-Bose, he's not done. He's still on the back end of Michalizzi. Meanwhile, Roan will improve his time for fastest lap. Can T-Bose make a move up the inside? No, not quite yet. He'll stay behind and hope to stay close enough for this DRS overtake. Does he have a chance at it? Going into the final 2 turns of our race here in Canada. Battling it out for P5. Michalizzi does have a 3-second penalty. T-Bose's got nothing. He's swerving a bit, and I think he just wants to stay on track and cross the line with his car. All together as one. Well played from T-Bose. He will move up to P5. And that is our race results. Again, Lynx sitting on pole to start the race. Had the lead until he pit. He was the first one to pit out of those intermediates. And it seemed to be that the ones who stayed out the longest were the ones that reaped the most rewards. Burrell drives the cleanest, smartest race. He will pick up the race win. Mika comes home in P2, and I believe that was Roan on P3. So I will get to confirm that. Oh no, it was Lynx who ended up in P3 after Roan had that 3-second penalty assessed. Well, it wasn't the most electrifying race, folks, but it was a good one. One that was deservedly won by that man right there spraying the champagne. Congrats to him. We'll get to the final results screen in just a moment. And there it is. Roan again does get the fastest lap. T-Bose making the biggest jump from P12 up to P5. And a little bit of interesting result here, as you see our front three just got themselves in reverse order. Once again, that pit stop from intermediates to mediums that the whole grid took did seem to be the deciding factor. Burrell coming out on top. Great drive from him. Great drive from everybody else. That was PSGL F6 round 10. See you next week in Japan. What a lovely little track. I hope it's dry. Hope everybody has a good rest of their week. And that's about it. See you next week on Monday in Japan. GG. Good racing. Congrats to Burrell. That'll be it from Peugeoter. Have a good week, y'all. Signing off. Adios.